So welcome to this guided mobility video. Just going to be looking at the lower body. It's going to be quick, it's going to be easy. You can do it in the morning, in the evening, whenever you feel is going to be best. So we're going to start with the hip swivel movement. Now what I like to do with this, I'm thinking about keeping my spine facing forward and my hips are rotating. So we don't really want to be turning with the movement, but we're keeping our spine forward and the hips are going to rotate to the side. Now you can just go as slow as you want with this movement. There's no need to try to reach the floor, and we're just playing around with hip internal and external rotation, just getting warmed up, moving dynamically, so we're not stopping in any position yet. And we're just going to do a few more reps of this. So spine's facing forward, hips are rotating. Now we're going to rest on the left hand side now and get into this 90-90 position. I like to think of getting my spine nice and tall in this position. So I've got a hand planted on the foot, one on the knee, spine nice and tall. And now I'm going to start to bring this back leg into extension just to get that little bit of hip extension. And again, keeping that spine nice and tall. We just rest here for a little bit into a static stretching position. Now we can dynamically move a little bit in the position. So we move forward, hunting out any tight areas in the hips, and just do that a few more times. Now we're going to come to a long sitting position, so my legs have just come forward, and we're just going to mobilize the hamstrings a little bit here. So again, we want to think about our spine being tall instead of just starting to stretch from the lower back, because the most effective way to hit our hamstrings is to keep our spine in a neutral position and let the hamstrings mobilize. And one of the nice things we can do in this position is just walk our feet in a static position side to side, and you will start to feel that your hamstrings will just start to loosen up a little bit. So we're just going to spend a little bit more time in this position, just moving back and forward with the legs and mobilizing the hamstrings. So the next position, what I want you to do is go back to the other side now. So we did the left side first, now we're going to go to the right side, get into this 90-90 position. Again, spine tall, neutral position, and we're going to start to walk this back leg into hip extension. And we just rest here a little bit in this static stretch, staying nice and tall. You can just walk the back leg as far as you can go. It might be difficult for you to get it all the way, that's not a problem, just work at your level. And now we can start to dynamically move in the position, coming in and out, backwards and forwards. And you can even add in a little bit of sideways twists just to capture more of that hip external rotation of the front leg. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the other side and just hit a nice lunge position. So we come onto the knee and we're going to start to lean forward in this lunge. And now we can add in some reciprocal inhibition. So what we can do is we can start to contract the glute on the back leg and just hold that contraction for 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go a little bit more. So this is going to facilitate further relaxation on the anterior side of the hip. So that's going to be the hip flexor. So we'll do one more set of contraction here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax further into the position. Just letting that hip extend further and further. And what we can do from here is we can put our other hand on the floor and just add in a little bit of rotation for the spine. So we can just do a few reps of this. So we come back down, coming back up into this rotated position with the hip in extension. Just a nice movement to get everything warmed up and moving. And we'll just do one more of these. Now what we'll do is take the other foot backwards and come up with the other leg. So now we're doing the opposite hip into the lunge position. And again, we're going to use this reciprocal inhibition. So we're going to use muscular contractions on the opposite side to the hip flexor. So we're going to contract the glute for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and further relax on the anterior side of the hip. So the hip flexor is loosening up a little bit. We'll do one more set of contractions. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and further relaxation of the hip. And again, we'll just add in some spinal rotation again. So we'll bring the other hand to the floor and we start to reach. We'll do a few more reps of this. Start to reach and turn that spine. Start to reach and turn the spine. And just one more rep. Going back down. And we're just going to finish this in the cross-legged position. A very, very straightforward position. Just breathe calmly for 5 or 10 seconds. The lower body should be quite warmed up now and mobilized. Just a very, very simple routine that you can do anytime you need to. If you're feeling tight in your hips, in your hamstrings. I like to do these movements almost every day because they're very straightforward and these are natural positions that our body is meant to get into in our daily lives. So by putting our body into these positions, we're going to improve our range of motion and prevent a lot of pain and dysfunction. So that's it. That's the guided routine. Follow it whenever you need. I'll see you all on the next video.